So I said, well, I can consult and just consult. So I just part-time did it. And eventually I was like, maybe I'll consider this as a full-time thing. But I was like too chicken to do it. Yep. Way too chicken to do it. And I'm like, this check comes every 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And I got bills and I got family. So it wasn't until my mom got sick. And she ended up having to retire early. She got injured really bad. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I said, I need to take a break from work. So in that absence, I said, I'm going to try this entrepreneur thing, or AKA self-employed.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs take vast amount of risk. And everybody wants to call themselves an entrepreneur. If you're not taking vast amount of risk financially, not just, making the plunge, but literally to earn lots of money with a business plan and things like that, you're really just self-employed. If you trade time for money, it's really self-employment.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't want to believe that.
There's a gem. You said she would be dropping the gems.
They come.
So I'm okay with being self-employed.
Yeah.
Because consulting is my time for money. It's just at my value.
Yeah.
If you see my value, then run me my check. But
run her that check.
Run it.
But and the other half too is like, if I stop giving my information, my money doesn't keep going.
Yeah.
I don't earn. So entrepreneurs, they typically make money when they're done the task. They build something up and it can operate solely without them. Right. And that's the amount of risk they take to be entrepreneurs. So majority of people need to learn the difference between self-employed and entrepreneurship.
And thank you for that coaching there, because yes, that is definitely something that now when I see other people with entrepreneur, I'm going to dig into more of like, okay, not that I'm digging into people's business, but when people come to you and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, then you have to like do your research. And that is kind of something that will help delineate to like who they are and what they're doing.
Absolutely. Because when you think about vetting people, if they're misusing terms in industry, it's kind of like,
it speaks to,
should we work with them?
Yes.
Are they capable?
Yeah.
Are they for me in business? And how much can they contribute if they're misusing terms for the sake of commodity or coolness? Because there's a social equity that everybody builds up brand first. There's no substance. There's no foundation.
Sure.
So like when people run, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. How much do you make a month? What do your taxes look like?
Yeah.
And not saying that money is the only thing that makes you an entrepreneur, but you have to make something that makes sense. And the first thing is terminology, key terms, like don't misuse them or abuse them.
Oh,
so
just got schooled right there.
Yeah. I think too that many people say they want to be an entrepreneur because, they may want the flexibility of having their own schedule. And like you said, want to be their own boss. And I think they don't understand the grind that it takes to be an entrepreneur. It's a real hustle. And we talk about having that grit. You need to be real gritty to be an entrepreneur. I think that's a key competency in being an entrepreneur is that grit.
Yeah.
So when you think about your journey to entrepreneurship, what are some things that you had to do to, talk about having that gut to sustain that grind? What are some of the things you had to do?
I also think she's saying she's self-employed versus an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. So
self-employed.
So I think because that's why I was saying she schooled us, because that is not entrepreneurship. It's self-employment.
Self-employment. Okay.
Now it becomes
help me out there, because I'm still a little confused. I think people maybe too.
So I will say this too. There's controversy and conversation and everything. So some people may agree and some people may disagree.
Correct.
But so if I was to scale myself and my company's brand, because I'm one sole member,
and your company is Capital Grind, for those who don't know.
That's one person, me. If I was to scale it and say, for instance, I hired your production team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to show up to work every day because the production team, I've procured business for the production team to do things.
Okay.
And now I can remove myself and money is working within the business.
Okay.
That's entrepreneurship. That's business 101.
Okay.
But self-employed people is you eat what you kill.
Oh my gosh. My boyfriend says that all the time. He's a barber. He has a barbershop, and he said,
He is a self-employed individual. He's not a business.
Oh my God.
But this is great.
This is
He says
This
that
gives you
all
context.
the time.
But
This gives you context.
the great thing,
what I don't eat, what I don't kill, I don't eat.
right? So that means he has to show up every day, and he has to be consistent. He has to have the grit and the tenacity. He has to build a book. He has to build trust with his consumer base.
Yeah.
People have to feel like I'm not just going to come once, but I'm going to be a returning customer with your boyfriend. Now the difference is the man who owns the shop he works in, he's the entrepreneur. because he doesn't have to show up to work every day.
Lord. Say that again.
Everybody
Say that
else
again.
inside
Say that again. Say that again. The man who owns
the barbershop is the entrepreneur. He took a vast amount of risk to create a space where all the people who are passionate about cutting hair can come cut hair, and he pays the property tax if he owns the building, or the rent,